I'm Mark Gregory, and I've spent a lifetime in kitchens across the world and made it to the very top of the game. Cooking for royalty, presidents, prime ministers, movie stars, pop legends and sporting greats. But now I've come home to my castle in New Zealand, where life is all about family and friends. In this series, I'm going to give you all the ingredients you need to create the most memorable Christmas. With simple dishes that don't cost the earth, but taste $1 million. Delicious gifts that will really mean something to those receiving them. And some of the simplest but most fun party games to round off any Christmas occasion.
Welcome to Christmas at the Castle.
Oliver Maurice is here with a British pub classic that makes a great gift. Get ready for a quick and easy meal, my succulent, fall-off-the-bone lamb pot roast. And we end the show with iced watermelon juice bombs, packed with family fun. In the castle kitchen with me today is my good friend and film set chef, Oliver Maurice. Welcome, Ollie. Now, I also notice you're sporting the world's greatest moustache.
Well, it takes a lot of work to get a moustache this good.
I'm sure it does, and I didn't mention the suit because the moustache is killing it for me.
Thank you.
You look fabulous.
Thank you.
What are we making today is British Pub Pickle. It's wonderful as a gift because you can have it on a doorstop sandwich with cold meats after Christmas. Would you like to make some with me?
Absolutely, yeah.
Excellent. So could you guide us through first what we have?
So we have onions and carrots.
Onions and carrots, yes.
Brown sugar.
Yep.
A few spices.
Yes.
And we have these delicious little things called cranberries.
And there's some dates there as well.
Yep.
First thing, could you medium dice the onions, small dice the carrots, put it in the pot. I will get you a cup of water.
Yep.
We put the lid on and we cook it for 15 minutes before we add everything else.
Rightio.
Okay?
Yes.
Get cracking.
Job for me.
Now I'm going to do the apples. Nice tip, always put it on the flatter side when you're using a corer. So that's a corer. I'm just making my life easy today. So whilst you're doing it all individually, I'm going to be doing it this way.
How come you get the quick job?
Because I live here.
Oh, true.
Yeah. And not only that, I've been good all year. Yes.
Rubbish.
You know how you and I are getting a little bit older?
Yes.
Apparently, when you stop believing in Santa, you get socks.
Oh, that's awful. That's awful.
What? Not even a little hint of chuckle?
That's awful. That's awful.
Oh.
That's an awful joke.
Okay, that's okay. I'm going to play a joke on you later. I've got 6 Granny Smith apples here. And do you know why we're using Granny Smith apples?
No.
Because they don't break, they don't puree too easily. Many apples will puree, they remain firmer.
Right.
Onions and carrots in, the cup of water you've got there,
Yeah.
lid on, 15 minutes.
Okay.
You call that a small dice, the carrots?
I was nervous. You're watching me.
It's a very pretty dice.
Not only that, you were my head chef 30 years ago, and it doesn't matter what happens. Whenever I come into the kitchen, you make me do all the labour.
All the work. Okay, so pop the lid on, 15 minutes, and then we can add everything else.
Okay.
Right, I'm still doing the apples.
What's your favourite dish? If mine's brulee, and there is no other dish.
Let me think. I absolutely love pot roast lamb. I really do.
Yep.
And I also like ham at Christmas.
Look at that.
So that's just semi-cooked. And now it's time to add everything else.
Okay. Sugar.
Sugar, dates, cranberries. I probably shouldn't use my fingers. Allspice, cinnamon.
Allspice things are nice.
Smoked paprika, paprika, more flavour, and a tinsy little bit of cayenne pepper, cider vinegar, and now all this apple.
All the apple.
Now this you bring to a simmer, you let it cook for 50 minutes until it's slightly syrupy, the apple's gone translucent.
Gosh, smells beautiful.
Stir it from time to time because you don't want it to catch.
Yep.
The apple will go translucent.
Yep.
It'll become slightly syrupy. Then it's ready to thicken. And this is how it should look. So the apple's translucent. It's all cooked. It smells slightly vinegary. You've got the hint of the spices. I've got some diluted arrowroot with cold water. You could use corn flour or tapioca starch and just rain it into the liquid
And all we're after is a light syrup thickening. So we don't have to thicken it too much, just ever so slightly. There we go. And you can see it's already thickened and it's shiny. And now, and that will thicken a little bit more when it's cold. Vinegary, spicy.
Ah, that's wicked. That is just, yum.
Well, besides being wicked,
Yum.
do we need to add salt and pepper?
A little bit of salt and pepper. It's going, give me salt, give me pepper.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, now,
Oh, that is
how
insane.
much salt? 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons?
Go to.
Go 2. There we go.
And I'm going to use something that we prepared earlier.
There we go. When you've stirred that in, perfect. If you could ladle some of that into jars,
Yep.
because this should give you 7 to 8 medium jars. They've been sterilized along with the lids, and as always, take it down to that second ring there,
Yep.
and you won't go over the neck of the jar. And then put it in the fridge for 6 to 8 weeks, so you can make this in advance. Now, believe it or not, I tend to make this 2 or 3 months before Christmas.
Wow.
And then I'm all ready with gifts.
Yeah.
Who would you like to give some British pub pickle to? Because your mum's British, isn't she? She's from
She is
Windsor.
British. Yeah, she is from Windsor. She would love this.
Would she?
Yep.
So to Beth, from Big and Little Santa's Kiss Kiss,
Beautiful.
and a little drawing of an elf. We'll let it go cold. Then we'll put the lids on. And the nice thing is you then got a farmer's market gift
Yes.
to give away. Ollie,
Yes.
thank you so much for helping me today.
You're very welcome.
But your wife,
Yes.
for Christmas,
Yes.
gave me this.
Yes, she did.
She did.
She did.
We've had this all year.
Right.
And I've waited for this moment because in Germany, the last trimming to go on the Christmas tree, on a
Yeah.
green fir Christmas tree,
Yeah.
is a pickle. And the idea is you hide it somewhere
Yeah.
on the Christmas, this is absolutely true, on
Yeah.
the Christmas tree. And whichever person or child finds it first gets 2 presents.
Wow.
So would you like to go and hide that on our Christmas tree?
yes.
Thanks, Ollie.
Thanks, Marky.
Coming up, it's my fast and easy one-pot lamb dish, the most succulent fall-off-the-bone pot roast ever. And later, it's iced watermelon juice bombs, packed with family fun.
I'm Mark Gregory and I'm all about entertaining here at the castle. And I love being in the kitchen, but I love it when the dishes are fast and easy to make too. My one-pot lamb dish is the most succulent fall-off-the-bone pot roast ever, sprinkled with the freshest lemon zest and herb gremolata. And we're in New Zealand, the home of lamb. This particular leg is about 2.4, 2.5 kilos. All we need to do with this, there's not much to do. It's a whole leg of lamb with the bones still in. On the outside of lamb is a skin called the fell, and we just need to cut that a little bit to let the heat in, because otherwise it shrinks and is not terribly pretty when it's cooked. We have carrot, onions at this stage, garlic and plenty of it. So the first thing to do is to slice some vegetables to put in the bottom of the pot roast to stop it sticking. And all you need is about 1 centimetre thick slices. This also is going to make the gravy. 1 whole bulb of garlic. Carrots, all we need to do here is just cut them, and that goes into the bottom. And once the stock is cooked, after about 4-5 hours, this will be the tastiest gravy you'll ever wish for. So I picked this from the garden, rosemary out of my garden. Let's put that there. There we go. Plenty of it. It looks like a lot, and it is. So that's going to give us lots of flavor. Let's put the lamb on top. We will give it a drizzle of olive oil. Lovely. Smear it all over, and then a nice seasoning. What's that, about a teaspoon or so of sea salt, pepper. And the final thing going in there is 1 litre of stock, liquid stock. Now, you can make it, you can buy it, make your life easy, whichever is easiest for you. I'm going to put a sheet of baking paper on top of that, some foil, and this goes into the oven for 4 to 5 hours until the meat falls from the bone. The lamb goes into the oven at 160 Celsius, which is about 325 Fahrenheit, for 4 to 5 hours. Slow cooking, long and slow, and it will be fabulous. Here we go. Oh, oh, you can smell the garlic, the rosemary wafting around the room already. Oh, here we go. Here we go. You can see it shrunk. There's lots of juices. I'll actually be able to push it off the bone. We've got all those juices in there, and we're going to turn that into the gravy. So I'm going to pour that into my little pot I've got here. Now just be mindful not to get the lamb in there as well. Put the foil back on the lamb, let it rest. So we're going to reduce this stock down till it's reduced by half, thicken it a little bit with cornstarch, and that's our gravy. I'm going to do that on the back stove because I want to show you my Triple Veg Mash, the perfect accompaniment for the pot roast. For my 3 veg mash, I need some Agria or Idaho potatoes, a good mashing potato, anyone will do. Some pumpkin or butternut and parsnips. Now we're going to cook this in a slightly unusual way. We will boil the potatoes, but steam the pumpkin and the parsnips on top. There's my butternut, my pumpkin. Let's get the potatoes. Always when boiling potatoes, cut them even sizes because you want them to cook evenly. There we go. Potatoes in the bottom, we'll steam the parsnips and the butternut on top. The parsnips, as you can see, not a very even vegetable, so we need to do something about that. The thinner part can go straight in, and then the thicker part, depending on how thick it is, we'll cut it into smaller pieces. The whole idea being it cooks at pretty much the same time, right? In that goes. Pop on the lid. The vegetables will boil and steam for about 30 minutes. At the end of that, we'll drain it, we'll mash it all together, we'll add some milk, some butter, some parsley, and very importantly, mustard. So the potatoes are boiling. I'm going to turn them down a little bit. That's creating steam, and that's going to cook the vegetables on top. Gremolata is beautiful. If you're not familiar with it, it's Italian. Parsley, mint, oregano, you can use whatever herbs pretty much you want to, of the soft herbs. Then with some garlic, some lemon zest, mix it all together, and you sprinkle it on meats, fish, salads. Delish. Now you could do this in a food processor. It's a lot of fun getting out your knives and having a practice. So scrunch it in your hand. It's a really good tip, as much as you're comfortable with, and then just slice. And now, here comes the chopping. That's pretty even. This parsley was washed earlier. If you're picking it straight from the garden, do wash it. That's the parsley. This is tender mint, so I'm going to slice it straight from the bunch. So you can see what's happening. We're going to build flavor. Turn it around. Now with mint, do not chop it too finely because it will oxidize and it'll spoil the flavor. So keep it pretty rough. Garlic time. Couple of cloves or one giant one. You already know how to do this. Tap it so the skin comes off. And now give it a good smash. There we go. A little bit of salt. Keep your tip on the board and do that motion, slightly rounding, and you will always end up with the most beautiful crushed garlic in no time at all. Now this needs one final ingredient, and that's lemon zest. I'm using the fine grater on my grater. This gives you little shards of lemon peel, which is beautiful. So the zesty vibrancy of the lemon will transform the herbs with the garlic, and this will get sprinkled all over the top of our lamb. Put it all together, and really what you got there is a bowl of fresh flavor. Time to thicken our gravy. So whether you use corn flour, arrowroot or tapioca starch, they'll all work. Pour it in. Now you may use a little, you may use all of it. Now just want to taste it. It's got enough salt for me, but needs pepper. I'm going to add a few drops of lemon juice, and that's going to elevate it from being good to being great. The veg looks ready. Yes, it is. So we're going to make and finish our triple veg mash. Right, so let's put that down there. There's our potatoes. You can see definitely cooked. Put our parsnips and our butternut or pumpkin on top. Some butter, milk. Not quite yet. We will add the grain mustard, but not quite yet. And this little gadget is made for making mash and makes the lightest, fluffiest mash ever. There we go. Now we haven't added, you may have noticed, a lot of butter or milk, and that's because the parsnips and the pumpkin are quite wet as a vegetable. They've got a high wet matter content, so they already make it soft. Now we're not going for a really smooth mash. I want this to have a little bit of texture, so that's plenty soft enough. Look at that. Let's taste it, check the seasoning. I need more, it says. Right, sea salt. What am I adding there? About that much. I'm always losing my pepper mill. There we go. And the mustard. Let's put that in. Now, let's mix that in. So the mustard, if you didn't have mustard and you prefer horseradish, put some horseradish in. There we go. So we've got our 3 vegetables, potatoes, parsnip, and butternut. From the pot into the bowl. Let's just smooth it around a little bit, make it a little more presentable. Time to serve the lamb. The vegetables for me are one of the best bits because they've been saturated in the juices from the meat and slowly cooked for hours. So there we go. Onion, let's lift the lamb a little bit. Let's get some onions. And these vegetables, you can actually serve with it as well. In fact, why wouldn't you? There we go. Let's not waste the lamb. And now, let's lift the lamb, ever so carefully. There we go. Now this already tastes good. In the book and online, there's a recipe for British pub pickle, but virtually any pub pickle that you can make or buy, use it. So we're going to smear some pub pickle on top of the lamb. It's got apples, carrots, onions, all the spices. Now finally, let's coat it in our fresh gremolata. The final thing to do is just give it a little bit of sea salt and a small drizzle of olive oil. And we will serve this with our 3 veg mash. In here we've got our gravy. It's lightly thickened. And I have kept the oil in there as well. So we'll drizzle a little bit of that around it. And there we have it, our 1-pot roast lamb with gremolata, pub pickle, and our 3 veg mash. Enjoy.
Next, we end the show with iced watermelon juice bombs, packed with family fun.
Okay, Ollie, we're going to make a watermelon juice bomb. And we're doing that because we've loaded the kids with sugar for the few days. Let's get a little bit healthier. So, all we do is scoop out, and I find the easiest way to do this is an ice cream scoop.
Yeah.
So scoop it out. One of the reasons we're using a small watermelon is, you can probably see that, there's very few seeds.
The the smaller it is, the less seeds there are.
Absolutely.
How much ice do we want on it? Can I put a cube in?
Yeah, put some cubes in.
1, 2, 3. You say stop.
That's good.
Okay.
That's good. And now we put whatever cordial. Black currant with watermelon is lovely.
Yeah.
Strawberry is lovely. Pineapple is lovely. But whatever cordial. Now, when we do cordial, even as kids, what is it, about 10 parts water, 12 parts water to 1 part cordial.
Sounds
something
perfect.
like that.
All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
Pulse.
Oh, yeah, put on.
I like pulse. Pulse.
Now,
Yeah.
there will be a few cubes of ice left in it.
Oh,
and
that was lucky, wasn't it?
there we go.
Trick for
Now,
new beginners.
Could you get some straws?
What
Couple
colour
of
would you like?
straws?
Let's go red
I like
and green.
red. I
Yeah,
like
and I'll go
red.
green because that's matching.
I like red. There we go. You put another couple of ice cubes in it as well if you want.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, the other thing I like to do is actually give them a spoon, because after they've finished drinking it,
Yes.
they can scoop the sides of the watermelon.
Fabulous.
So there we have our iced watermelon juice bomb.
That's fantastic.
Have a sip. You know that's for the kids, don't you?
You're quite good.
Oh, well, I'm glad you like it. My lamb pot roast with 3 veg mash is quick to prepare and fast to eat. Ollie's British Pub Pickle will go down a treat and jazz up that leftover turkey. An iced watermelon is a fun family treat for Christmas. If you want to try any of the recipes from the series, you'll find them online. I hope I put some merry in your Christmas. Happy holidays!
Next time, Annalise's Turkish Delight is a fabulous gift you can make and give at Christmas. I tackle an all-time classic, Christmas mince tarts, and give them a twist. And the kids take over Christmas, just as they should.